Hello and welcome along to another episode and a final game of the season from this FM20 story with Dorking Wanderers with me, Daniel. It's finishing in disappointment, to be honest. The final game, we're down in 12th place. After the euphoria at the end of the last episode, the optimism that we might be able to get back in the playoff hunt. We beat Sheffield Wednesday, who have gone on to seal promotion. They could wrap up the title today, of course, as you can see. But for us, we're just trying to cling on to our expectations in the top half. It could well be our first season of underachievement at Dorking Wanderers, and it could put us in a bit of trouble with the board as well, something we've got to be concerned about moving into the summer. We've got big plans, we've got a few players in on trial, we've got lots that we think we can be positive about next season, but we've got to get there first and we must stay in a job. So a crucial game today, we need to get a result or at least better Ipswich's, otherwise we could end up in the bottom half, and if that happens we've got nowhere to turn. We could well be looking at the sack from Dorking. I've no idea what will happen to this series then, as of course it is a one club challenge, but let's not worry about that for now. All we need is to better Ipswich's result. So fingers crossed we can do that in today's game, even though we're going away to playoff chasing Doncaster. They've almost wrapped up their place, but it could yet go against them, I guess. Portsmouth with the same goal difference. If they win and Charlton do too, that would mean Doncaster have to get a draw to stay above Pompey. So let's go and see if they can do that. But we need to get that result today. We really need to finish in the top half here. In terms of the club vision, it's all okay at the moment. C+, we've got a bit of a dressing room role. We're not doing too well in that sense. Of course, a few of them unhappy naturally because we're not meeting our achievements, particularly in some of the football we're playing. We're a bit more defensive than we were, as something will definitely change next season if we're here. If not, today could be the last episode of the series, but fingers crossed it won't have to come to that. But before we go and get into this, a massive thank you to everyone who continues to follow for another season. I really do appreciate it greatly. If you haven't already, please put a thumbs up on the video. It makes such a difference to how it performs. And subscribe to the channel for daily FM20 content from both of my long-term stories. The other one not going too well either, that's the head coach, where we have no say in transfers or contracts. We joined a club near the bottom of the league after being sacked from our previous club earlier this season, and it looks like we're taking them down to League One as well. So it's not the best season in the world in both series, but either way we're still enjoying it, so let's hope we've got a job at the end of this one. Our contract's out as well, so it's a very bad time to not meet achievements for the first time, so hopefully that won't need to be the worry today. Of course, if you have missed any of the series so far, you can catch up in the eye above, but we're going to head straight into this game against Doncaster with a few pit stops at the main action off the pitch. So the first thing is the finances, which are looking very good, and there's a very clear reason for that. If we go back to our transfer screener, Matt Smith, the man who we sold for over $1 million in January, we also managed to sell on his clause, the one that we work in every time. I always stress the importance of that 50% sell on. It always pops up, it almost always makes you money. Don't worry about waiting for the player to be sold or succeeding. 3 or 4 months later, they'll normally be available to sell it. They won't want to take that risk, particularly if they're playing at the higher level. As you can see, Matt Smith is, to be fair to him. So we got an extra £480,000 for Middlesbrough. That's a fantastic return for us. It means we've managed to get nearly £2 million for him. We've also got his appearance fee clause as well. So that could take it up to £1.975 million, with a guaranteed 1.75 now. Aitchison's made his debut the January signing. We looked at him when he came in and he has made one league appearance off the bench. That was just due to injuries rather than anything else. I don't think he's really good enough for us yet. But we're not going to see him today because we can't afford to rest anyone. We have to make sure we get a result, so no chance to play the youngsters. And the lads that we've got here, a few of them need to earn their contracts yet. The likes of Sia, who's unhappy, Harvey Rue, Tom Cook, all of them out of contract at the moment. And most of them are happy, so won't be staying anyway. But let's just see if we can get one last good performance out of them. In terms of the transfers, we mentioned that, of course. The other thing that's happened since the last episode is the youth intake, and it is probably the worst we've ever had. I seem to be saying that most years here at Dorking. Just one player who's got 2-star potential, and in fact the one who's rated the best isn't even that player. So let's look at him first, Tim O'Hara. He's absolutely awful. And then let's go and have a look at this, Tom McPherson, the left back. 2-star ability, he's not very good. I mean, maybe National League South or North at a stretch, but I don't think anything beyond that. So he's possibly the only one who will stay this summer, but even then he's never going to make it at first team level. So not very good news there. In terms of our 18s, there's no one really coming through anyway. Most of the others are declining. We've not had the best coaching quality there. Matty Faulkner's reached 1-star ability. Again, National League North and South at best maybe, but for us I don't think there's much we can shout about now, and our previous results show that things on the pitch are just as bad. So the dynamics are not looking great, and the reason for that is because after the optimism we've had a stinker of a month to finish the season, and the main reason is because 4 of our last 5 games have been away from home, and our away form's been dreadful for the rest of this year, to be honest. Ever since January it's been a struggle. We only won 1 game, I think, on the road. That was the Sheffield Wednesday one on camera, actually. So that's performing for you guys, but not for me on a general week. In terms of the rest of the games, we Accrington 2-0, King and Moles with a penalty in the 91st minute, before back-to-back away defeats, firstly at Crawley, John King with a late consolation there. In fact, they won it after that and then went down to 10. We still weren't able to get an equaliser. And then an early 1-0 defeat to Lincoln City. We didn't really look like scoring at all there. And a lot of the attacking players, the Daltons and Nolans, have come out of form again, and John King's not really been scoring many. In fact, we've only scored 1 goal in the whole of April, and that doesn't bode well going into today. But we did have a brief playoff momentum push. That was at the end of March before the international break. So Oxford United at home, we won 2-0. John King with a brace in that one. And then the same score at home to Shrewsbury, though he did pick up a knock there too. And that with our backup centre-halves due to the international break. But good home form going into April. That's when we started to play all the big teams away from home. So Barnsley obviously could win the title today. They're up there with Sheffield Wednesday already promoted. They beat us 1-0 in probably our best performance of that month. Then a 2-0 defeat away at Pompey. Simon Thompson with the 2 goals, including one on a stroke of half time to wrap up the match. Then a 2-0 defeat away to Ipswich. 2 goals in 2 minutes through stupid individual errors. Before a 1-1 draw against Chesterfield last time out, we stopped the rot with a 2nd minute penalty, but still managed to throw away the game late on. So into this Doncaster game, not many players missing, just Mike Gamble for Doncaster. They're heavy favourites, as you can see there. So I'm really interested to see how this goes today. We might as well go and see who the favourites are, and I think we're probably going to be struggling in this one, as Ipswich have got a home game to finish the season. They're playing Portsmouth though, so both games are important for the playoffs and mid-table. For our expectations in particular, Doncaster nearly 12,000 through the gate, a really big attendance for them, though we do have the better head-to-head record, but our form is awful and Doncaster's is brilliant. Billy Sharp in charge doing a really good job for them. But 62 points, certainly not a disaster, and we're going to go as strong as we possibly can for this one. In fact, I think we're going to bring Everett back in on the left wing. I'd already pre-prepared that one as well, and a few players returning from injury like Smith and McKinnon. They've been sore misses throughout this run-in. But in terms of the lineup today, we've got Mitchell in goal, Ramsey and Thomas the fullbacks, with Walker alongside King in the middle. We've got Moles, John and Smith the midfield 3, Dalton underperforming with Everett on the wings, and then John King up front in what could be his final game for the club. 3 seasons on loan, he's been absolutely brilliant. 57 goals in 132, but I think we're going to move on to a different striker next year. So in we go, that's the 11. We'll start with our cautious mentality on the road, and let's just hope we can sneak a result here. We've got a few game changers on the bench should we need them. Well, it's our old nemesis, the 4-3-3. It doesn't look like that's going to go well. Was that Tom Thorpe? Is he the old United youngster? I'm sure it was. He is. And then he went to Birmingham and Bolton. I remember his name from previous FMs. Anyone else I recognise in there? Mostly young players up front. That doesn't bode well. They're probably on loan. Aside from that, I don't recognise many names there. Let me know if I've missed anyone in particular. But we're playing on normal 4-5-1. Probably the last time we'll use this formation too. Although, as we mentioned before, we could well be sacked after this one. We need to make sure we better or match Ipswich's result. But 3 up front, that's going to make things harder. We will have to go to our defensive mentality. And because they're playing that narrow front 3, we're also going to go to play the full down the flanks. We might even go for hit early crosses later, but we've only one in the box. There's no need for that yet. So let's go and get into the first half for the final game of the season and see if we can get ourselves a result against Doncaster. Well, not long on the clock, but it's us coming forward on the right with Ramsey, a throwing in an attacking position. John King finds Dalton. Can he find form again? Poor cross beaten by the first man and cleared. George holds it up, the striker for Doncaster, and they're moving forward again down the left wing. Here they are at left back, going back to the centre half head. Long ball forward, well intercepted by Ramsey, but again they're first to the second ball. It's something we've lost out on a month for, but John King's nicked it off the centre half. A wayward pass, beats the goalkeeper and scores. He only performs on camera his 22nd of the season, and John King gives us an early lead on the road, and these lads aren't camera shy. They play up for you guys. A brilliant win at Sheffield Wednesday in the last one, and it looks like we're getting playoff chasing Doncaster today. But let's not speak too soon. Ramsey's giving it away, and we could be on the back foot almost immediately here. A good start to the match. No one on their holidays just yet. Maybe the centre half for Doncaster there, but Noel John's nicked it, puts King in again. He's 1-on-1. Oh, it's straight at the keeper. He had to score that. Straight at the goalkeeper Balcom, who makes the save, and he holds it and clears long downfield. midfield. Our centre half's going to get there first. Ramsey from right back, the man inside, finds Matthew Smith in the centre circle. That's a dirty foul. Noel John picks it up, so the ref plays advantage though, and he finds Dalton over on the right wing. Back to John again, finds Smith. Nice little dummy there for Everett, and again he's got a chance to take on his fullback, and there's two in the box if he can find them. Everett delivers towards Dalton, heads in for 2-0. What a start this is. Where has this form been? We've been missing this for the last month or so. A brilliant start to the game on the road, and I probably should have played every game on camera. 3 shots on target, 4 in total, dominated the possession in the early stages. Doncaster had nothing, and we've got a free kick again. King in towards Dalton, heads just over the bar, and we're back in the flow for the summer holidays, but unfortunately it's a little too late. So let's see what Ipswich are doing. They're 0-0 against Portsmouth, so not mattering too much to us at the moment, and actually we go up to 11th above Shrewsbury as it stands, and that's a good sign for us at the end here. Here's Thomas on the left hand side. Right, sorry for Art, delivers towards Balcombe. Too easy for the keeper to claim, and I'm sure he'll clear it long downfield here. Can we get the lads back quickly enough to deal with it? Balcombe with a big kick over the top. Are we going to win it? Thomas volleys forward. What a ball that's turned out to be. What was John King doing? The keeper came rushing out, maybe tried to lob him, but he got far too much on it. It flies into the stand, but we're creating chances galore, and we've had 3 clear-cut chances already here. Ramsey out on the right-hand side, 2 men inside of him. One of them, Stephen Moles, he delivers to the box. Head gets it away from the edge of the box, and now it falls for Matthew Smith out to Thomas. Into King. Oh, that's a good save, Balcombe. Made the most of that chance, but he was offside in the end. The flag very late to go up there, but at the keep mode, we're running riot at the moment, and it's 2-0 with 10 minutes to the break. Ramsey with a throw from the right back position again. Again, it's in quite an advanced area. John King holds it up, beats a man. Oh, what a goal that is. Matt Everett has scored an absolute screamer. He's been largely crap this season, to be honest, but he scored a brilliant goal from 25 yards there. John King set it up with an assist. 1 goal, 1 assist for him. 1 goal, 1 assist for Everett now, and that's probably one of our best goals of the season. I wonder if it'll make the vote in the end of season review. But a 3-0 lead at half-time, probably the best performance we've produced since that Sheffield Wednesday game. The lads look delighted, but where has this been? Why has it taken 2 months off camera, and suddenly we're back on form for this one? Shrewsbury dropping, Ipswich are too. Ipswich still being held 0-0. Where is Shrewsbury? What are they doing? They're 1-0 down away at Bristol Rovers, and as it stands we're going to finish up in 11th place. An hour gone, no chances in this half so far, all looking well for us at the moment, and with a quarter to go we will make a couple of changes. Matthew Smith just back from injury, so Cole McKinnon on for him, and we'll leave the other 2 for 5 or 10, and then bring on a couple of youngsters near the end. 15 to go, we've got another free kick in an advanced area. John King into the box, really well headed away by Head. I know, a bit of a confusing sentence, that one. McGill on the attack, he finds Lowry. They're coming forward here, Doncaster. Brilliant counter-attack. Goes for the shot, does he? Drifted wide, he was taken wide by Thomas. Went for a shot, but it was straight at Mitchell in the end. I'm distracted by a fly in the corner there. But with 10 to go, it's still 3-0 to Dorking Wanderers. And we'll make some changes now as we think we've seen off the threat from Doncaster. It's Joe Wilson who's going to come on, the youngster. He'll replace Mark King Naloni. 1 more in midfield. Simon's coming on for Stephen Moles. They can celebrate the last 10 on the pitch, and let's just see if we can see out this brilliant result, as it looks like we're going to creep up to 11th place. 3 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Ipswich still 0-0. Shrewsbury I think still down on the road. We've accidentally come off the game there. Let's have a look. Shrewsbury 2-0 down now. We win the game 3-0. It peters out in the end. A wonderful performance to finish the season. It begs the question, where has it been for 2 months? I've been desperate for that performance to get in a playoff hunt, and it's come when it's far too late at the end of the season. So Shrewsbury lost, Ipswich drew. We got a brilliant win on the road. Doncaster still make the playoffs because of that Ipswich result. Portsmouth missing out in 7th place, and they're going to be an opponent we face again next season, so let's hope we can do better next time round. But 11th place, we've met our expectation. The club vision will move up to B- as a result. A good way to finish. We go into the summer in form. We score goals through John King and Callum Dalton, both back in form, but it's too little too late. I don't think we're going to keep them for another year, and they're not quite as good as they once were compared to the rest of the team, so we'll try and improve the squad permanently in the summer. Sheffield Wednesday come out in top in the title race. Let's see how those results were at the end of the game. Sheffield Wednesday won 3-0. Barnsley, whereabouts today? They won 3-1 at Crawley, so only 1 point in it. Both deserved to get promoted. They were miles clear of the rest. In terms of us, we miss out on the playoffs. We finished boringly in mid-table again, but of course this is always going to be a slower build. You so often get stuck in League One, even in real life. The likes of Fleetwood have found it in the past. Crawley, I guess, were the money bags before that for a while. The reformed AFC Wimbledon, they got stuck stuck in League One as well, so it is the hardest league probably to adapt to. There's not too much between the National League and League Two, and you often see teams do well in League Two as a result, but League One's a different kettle of fish, and again the Championship comes under the same bracket. So they're going to be the two hardest ones to get out of, but we will hope we can form a better side for next year. We're starting to become established, our reputation's creeping up each year, so hopefully that will take an effect in the summer. We'll have a look at all of that in the end of season review, how our reputation compares to other clubs, how we're doing on and off the pitch as well. But we've managed to keep our job, meet our expectations. That's the main thing. This story will continue. We've kept our job for one more year, and we'll be back with Dorking Wanderers for season 9. But of course, as usual, we'll be back in 2 days' time for our end of season review, where we'll look at some bits off the pitch, plan our summer, who we're going to keep, who we're going to move on. It's interactive. We've got our player of the season vote too, so make sure you come and join me, get involved down in the comments. And then in 4 days' time, we'll have our transfer special at the start of season 9, and I've got a feeling this is going to be an explosive one. No more teetering on the edge. Let's make ourselves playoff contenders. Let's do it properly and invest in the squad. There's some really good youngsters available at the moment. Our scouts have picked up 4 or 5 I'd like to sign, and I'm hoping they'll all have an impact on the squad, so we'll try and get those ones in quickly as well. We'll talk about that more in the end of season review, so I do hope you'll come and join me for that one. But a massive thanks for following along for another season. Your support in League One with Dorking's much appreciated. If you did enjoy the season and that fantastic end to it, please do put a thumbs up on the video. We are still inconsistent. Those performances have been few and far between, but we can do it on our day. We've just got to make sure we have more of them. Jake Gallagher's retiring, so we need a new mentor for our groups. We've got to make sure we get some strong personalities this summer, and that's going to make our job even harder than usual. We won't just be able to go all out for the youngsters. Get your thoughts in early as well. Let me know in the comments, both in this episode and in the end of season review, who should we get rid of in the summer? Which players and areas should we be looking to improve? Are there any that you think I shouldn't be letting go? There's a few of them I think have been a little underwhelming this year. I've been really disappointed with us moving forward, to be honest. So hopefully we'll be able to address that in the summer. We mainly got our defence sorted last year, but of course 1 or 2 loanies included in that too. And Matt Smith being sold for big money in January, it does make me have a little bit to reinvest. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for daily FM20 content from my 2 long-term stories. We'll be back with the end of the Championship season tomorrow with Salford City. That's in our head coach series where we've got no say in transfers or contracts. Again, we're resigned in that one. We've got a plan for next season. But in that one where we don't have any influence off the pitch, we just have to wait and see what's thrown at us. Then in 2 days here, we've got our end of season review. In 4 days time, our transfer special too. A busy summer ahead here at Dorking Wanderers. The wheels are already in motion for a number of signings, and I've got a feeling it's going to be a really spectacular one. So I hope we'll be armed with a squad that can lead us to promotion next season, or at the very least challenge for a playoff place. Finally, I'm part of a podcast that does matchday vlogs and interviews, and you can see the link to the matchday vlogs playlist in the eye above. A massive thank you for your support with that series too. We've really appreciated the positive feedback on it. There's a couple of new series on that channel as well. You Are the Ref, a light-hearted one where we look at some bizarre refereeing scenarios. It's quite interactive, so you can come and join us down in the comments there. Let us know what you think to the comments we're making. And then also a more serious one on the other side of that. We talk about injuries in amateur football, how they've affected us having long-term ones. So something you may be able to relate to as well. But a massive thanks for watching this one, following along for another season in League One. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you next time for our end of season review, hopefully followed by a spectacular summer transfer window.